Now, I do have another question.
Okay.
What if we are exactly where we are supposed to be doing exactly what it is that we're supposed to do? And the reason that I ask that question is because from the time our people's feet set foot on this dirt in shackles, all the way up until now, it seems to me that our primary purpose has been to work to elevate the condition of others through our labor in fields, even if it's a job in an office, if it's hoofing it and dancing on the stage, singing our butts off, if it's an acting performance, whatever it is that we're doing, it seems like it's supposed to be toward elevating the living condition of another group of people. And as long as we're doing that, as long as we're going in that direction, nobody seems to have any complaints about what we're doing or how we're doing it. But the second we decide, or we desire, at least desire, to decide that I want to try to take a portion of this and I want to try to use it to elevate myself. I mean, you'd have thought we turned around and slapped the baby straight across the face and turned his head round and round like the exorcist. By considering the possibility of trying to elevate ourselves, isn't that threatening what we're supposed to be doing here?
Well, this goes back to purpose, and I've always talked about purpose. What is our purpose for being here? And that's an individual thing. You have to decide for yourself. Some people believe that their purpose is to be a tool of servitude. Let's just be honest about this. As black people, we need to accept the simple reality. Most black people accepted the condition of slavery. Just like they accept it today. There was no component in them that said, I'm sick of this, I'm unsatisfied, I'm unhappy with the condition that I'm in. There was no basic human component that said, I don't like this, I can't do this anymore. That is not there. They are willing to accept the shackles. So the question becomes, are you willing to accept them? Because the truth is, most black people, if slavery were reinstituted tomorrow, most black people would simply let them walk up, put the shackle around their necks, and march them off to the fields. And once they got out there in the fields, they would never attempt to escape. In other words, we'd be right back in 1814 all over again. Just that quickly, just that easily. That's the simple fact of the matter. Most black people are not ready for freedom. Most black people are not ready for empowerment. That's why my broadcast is not for the masses, it's for an elite few. But the truth is, no, most black people are not ready to leave the plantation. They weren't ready before Lincoln, they're not ready after Lincoln, and they're not ready today. They're not ready. They don't want to leave. It's so much easier to turn their life over to somebody else. I have had people literally sit here on this broadcast and tell me that black people are free because, quote, we can buy Air Jordans and cell phones. I've had them literally tell me that. Then when I tell them, but wait a minute, take a look at the way white folk are living and Asians are living and Latinos are living, and then take a look at us. We work harder than anybody else and got less to show for it. What kind of life is that? Then they tell me that, then they come with the Jesus stuff. Then they tell me that they come with the religious stuff, the spiritual stuff. Every single canard and excuse that says money doesn't matter. And yet they're paying for that internet service that's listening to this broadcast with nothing but money. We are a people who have looked for every means we can to psychologically avoid growing up. The truth is, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said, white supremacy infantilizes you. Let me say that one more time for everybody else out there who didn't get that. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said, white supremacy infantilizes you. It turns you into children, is what it does. That's what it demands. It does not demand an equal relationship with you. It doesn't want parity. It wants to be daddy and you're the child. Take a look at every place around the world that white supremacy has instituted itself. Africa, Mexico, Australia, Japan, the Middle East. You're watching the process as it begins now. The Japanese do not treat white people like people. Take a look at their manga and their anime. They treat white people like gods. They treat white people like gods. And that is what they want. The real goal is to get that type of relationship where he's way up here and you're way down there. There is only one question that a person needs to ask themselves. Do I accept that subservient position? If you do, go with them and get the hell away from me. But if you don't, it's time to get cracking. I'll let you have the last word.